Hi guys, today we're going to be working on lesson 7-5 and we're working on skip counting. So today let's look at our math word first, and our math word is skip counting. So skip counting is where you are on a number line and you're not counting all the numbers. You are skipping by a certain number. So you could skip by fives, you could skip by tens, you could skip by 100, you could even skip by 2, you could skip by 4. So you're just skipping the numbers in between. So let's go ahead and read the top of the page. Skip count within 1,000. Leah has 5 red cards worth 5 points each, 8 yellow cards worth 10 points each, and 6 green cards worth 100 points each. How many points is each set of cards worth? So if you start out with the red cards, let me get my pen tool. If you start out with the red cards and you're skipping by fives and she has 5 red cards, you would count by fives 5 times. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Now notice there are 5 leapfrogs or 5 frog hops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we ended up at 25. Now skip count 8 yellow cards. So she has 8 yellow cards worth 10 points each. So we're counting by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So I just did 8 frog hops and I skipped by tens, and now I'm up to 80. Now it says skip count 6 green cards, and we're counting by 100s starting at 0. So we have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and then 600. So let's scroll on down to the bottom, and it reads Leah's red cards are worth 25 points, her yellow cards are worth 80 points, and her green cards are worth 600 points. Now let's skip count by fives. Write the missing numbers. So 90, and we're skip counting 5 numbers. So you would count up 5 tick marks. So it would be 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. So one frog hop, which is skip counting by fives, would get you to 95. Then let's skip again. So we went from 90 to 95. 95 up 5 would be to 100, because 95 plus 5 is 100. Then 100 goes to 105. 105, it goes to 100, and 105 plus 5 would be 110. And then skip count by 5 more, and you would get up to 115. So let's move on to the next page. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Okay, so now we can go on to the next page. And we are still skip counting. So let me get into editing mode, and I can mark up the page. Okay, so it says skip counting by fives. So we're starting at 730. And then we go to 735, and I'm going up by fives. So 735 plus 5 more would be 700, and that's not the best 740. Up by 5 more, so 740 plus 5 would be 745. And then up by 5 more, so 745 plus 5 would be 750. And then plus 5 more would be 755, which they already have written. And then 755 plus 5 would be 760. Now we're skip counting by tens. So now you should see changes in... Mrs. Humble is trying to call me. I'm going to decline that, and I'll call her back in a little bit. So skip counting by tens. So I'm looking at the tens place. So I went from 350 to 360. Then I'm looking at one more tens. So I would put 370 because I am adding 10. And then it's 380 plus 10 more would be 390. Sorry, my numbers are kind of fat, so it's hard to read. 390, and then plus 10 more would be 400. And then plus 10 more after 400 would be 410. Sorry, my numbers get a little chubby there, but that's okay. Now let's count by a 100. So we're looking at the hundreds place. So 400 plus 100 would be 500 plus 100 would be 600. Plus 100 would be 700. Plus 100 would be 800, which is already done. Plus another 100 would be 900. And then what is 100 more than 900? Well, 100 more than 900 is actually 1,000. And now if I thought my numbers wouldn't fit before, I bet they really are going to have a hard time fitting. So 1,000. Let's go on to some problem solving. Kylie's art teacher buys 7 boxes of buttons. Each box has 100 buttons in it. How many buttons are there in all? Well, if Kylie's art teacher buys 7 boxes, so if I drew out 7 boxes, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 boxes of buttons, and there's 100 in each of them. So I'm counting by 100s. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. That would be 700 buttons in all, because there's 100 buttons in each box. Caesar has 9 cards worth 10 points each. Devin has 15 cards worth 5 points each. Whose cards have a greater value? Explain your reasoning. So Caesar has 9 cards, and each of those 9 cards are worth 10 points. So that would be kind of the same thing as having, so if a card is worth 10 points, that would be like having a 10 stick. So let's say these are Caesar's. Caesar has 9 cards, and so the 9 cards are like a 10 stick. So we'll do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So there's, I don't want that last one. I don't want that dot there. So there's 90. So he has 90 points in cards, and it says Devin, D for Devin, has 15 cards worth 5 points each. So 15 cards are worth 5 points. So we're going to have to count by 5s 15 times. So I'm going to do a little line that looks like that. Like a half of a 10 stick would be a 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Ooh. 25. So there's 5 cards, and we need 15. So that's already 25. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 lines, and each of these lines are worth 5. So let's count them. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. So Devin has 75 points and Caesar has 90 points. So whose cards are worth more? Caesar's cards are worth more because he's got 90 points. That looks like a 4, and I don't want it to look like a 4. I need it to look like a 9. There we go. So worth 90 points, and Devin's cards are worth only 75 points. So whose cards are worth more? Let me get a text box going. Caesar's cards are worth more because 9 cards worth 10 are 90 points. Devin only has 75 points. So let me move this a little so you can see it. So Caesar's cards are worth more because 9 cards worth 10 are 90 points. Devin only has 75 points. And the last question. Lucy wanted to skip count by 5. So the numbers she said were 5, 15, 25, 35, and 45. Is Lucy correct? Well, we know if we're skip counting by 5s, we should add 5 to this first number. So 5 plus 5 more, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, she got 15. So she forgot the number 10. And then 15. And then 15 to 25. Well, 15 to 25 is adding 10. We need to have a 20 in between. So what did she do? She skip counted on accident by 10s and not 5s. So how is Lucy incorrect? Lucy skip counted by 5 or by 10 and not 5. Lucy is not correct. So hopefully that helps you guys with skip counting. Go ahead and do your best. If you need to use your fingers, go ahead and if your parents want to pull up a number line for you, maybe on the internet, that might help you too.